It is the most forbidding landscape on Earth. A place where the sun is a tyrant, the silence is absolute, and the sand stretches to infinity. In 1994, one man entered this sea of sand as an athlete and emerged as something else entirely. This is not just a story of survival. It is a story of a descent into a sun-bleached nightmare, a confrontation with madness, and a battle fought not against other runners, but against the very essence of oblivion. His name was Mauro Prosperi, 39 years old, a former Olympic pentathlete, a member of Italy's elite police force, the Carabinieri, a man of supreme discipline and physical prowess. In April 1994, he arrived in Morocco for the Marathon des Sables, the Marathon of the Sands, a 6-day, 150-mile stage race through the Sahara. Brutal, but for pros like Mauro, a challenge to be mastered. The first 3 stages went to plan. Prosperi was strong, placed 56th. Then came stage 4, the dreaded long stage, 52 miles of uninterrupted desert. A navigational test where runners use a compass and basic map. April 14th, the weather turned. A chergouet, a desert sandstorm, descended without warning. The world dissolved into a furious ochre haze. Visibility dropped to 0. The wind screamed, erasing tracks, distorting sound, bending perception. Mauro Prosperi mentions, it was like being inside a giant, yellow drum. You couldn't see the sun. You couldn't see the dunes. You could only hear the rage of the wind. I thought to myself, keep moving. Just keep the wind at your back. That's what they say. But in a storm that twists and turns, what is your back? Mauro, disoriented, ran. And ran. For hours. When the storm finally cleared, he was alone. Utterly, terrifyingly alone. The desert had swallowed the race whole. His water was nearly gone. He had a small emergency kit, a space blanket, a flare, a small knife, a compass. But in a desert that stretches across nations, which way do you go? He picked a direction and marched. The first night fell, a cold so deep it felt like the day's heat had never existed. Day 2. The sun returned, a monstrous furnace. He found abandoned Muslim shrine, a marabou, a sign of life, but it was empty. Inside, he made a desperate choice. Using his knife, he slit the throat of a bat that lived there and drank its blood. Survival had begun to rewrite his morality. It was warm. It tasted of life. I felt no disgust, only need. Days blurred. He walked over 20 miles a day, chasing mirages, drinking his own urine filtered through his running shirt. He ate scorpions and lizards. Hallucinations set in. He saw his wife, his children, beckoning from the dunes. He spoke to them. On what he later believed was day 4 or 5, he made a decision. He would not let the desert have his body. He took out his knife, and with the last of his coherent will, he slashed his wrists. He lay down in the sand to die, offering his blood to the sun.
But the Sahara is cruel, even in its mercy. The extreme heat and dehydration had thickened his blood. It clotted, sealing his self-inflicted wounds. He woke hours later, burned, weak, but alive. He took it as a sign. The desert would not grant him an easy exit. He had to fight. His mind fractured. Sometimes he was a legionnaire lost in the Roman Sahara. Sometimes he was just an animal crawling. He found a riverbed dry, of course, and followed it. He ate snakes. He drank from rare, foul rainwater pools. Meanwhile, a massive international search was underway. The Algerian military scoured from the air. His family held on to hope, but after a week, the logical conclusion was clear. No human could survive this long in that inferno, but Mauro was still moving. On what we now know was day 9, he saw something real. A young girl, tending goats on the edge of an oasis. She saw the specter, a skeletal, burned, bearded man, clad in tattered orange running gear, and she ran, screaming. I tried to call out, but only a croak came. She was like an angel, and I was a monster from the dunes. Her cries brought villagers from Tebelbala, an oasis in Algeria. They rescued him. He had walked over 180 miles in the wrong direction. He weighed just 65 pounds. He was hospitalized for weeks, his body a map of ruin. Mauro Prosperi lost nearly 40 pounds. His kidneys were failing. He was permanently physically altered. But he was alive. The desert is a beautiful lady, but she is a traitor. She gives you the illusion of peace, but she wants to kill you. I died out there. The man who came back is different. And in an astounding testament to the human spirit, he went back. Not once, but multiple times. He completed the Marathon des Sables again years later, to conquer the fear, to thank the desert for, in its own terrible way, giving him back his life. His story rewrote the manuals on survival. It's a tale that pushes into the realm of the unbelievable, but it's all true. It asks us the most profound question: what is the line between the will to live and madness? And when you cross it, what do you become? Mauro Prosperi didn't just run a marathon. He traversed the furthest frontiers of human endurance. And he came back to tell us what he found there. A reflection of our own fragile, indomitable spirit, staring back from a sea of sand. Mauro Prosperi survived for approximately 10 days in the Sahara Desert. He was found 180 miles from where he disappeared. He is one of the greatest survival stories of all time. Mauro's story forces us to ask, what lies within us? What untapped reservoirs of strength do we have, hidden until the moment everything is stripped away? But his is just one story from the edges of human experience. Our world is full of them, from the deepest jungles to the void of space, from mountain peaks to ocean trenches. Humanity is constantly testing its limits. And behind every legend of survival, exploration, or disaster, there is an incredible true story waiting to be told. If you crave more stories that challenge reality and explore the absolute extremes of the human condition, then you need to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We are Zuncover channel. We don't just recount history. We dissect the moments where ordinary people faced the impossible. We investigate the mysteries that defy explanation. We bring you the raw, true stories from the edge of human endurance. So what's your limit? Don't just watch history. Understand the psychology of survival. Subscribe now and join us on the next journey. Human Limit is a fiction. Subscribe to Zuncover, where we uncover the stories,